an idea in your head and it just sticks there for a really long time and then you finally just do it. That's what this video is. This video, I just couldn't get it out of my head. It was like an itch I had to scratch. So I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. I have fully only watched 4 things recently. Tik Tok, Drag Race All-Stars 2, Shrek, and mostly Star Wars. I've been watching specifically a lot of Star Wars themed TikToks. I got this idea and I tweeted it out. I believe the exact tweet was, if I cosplay Kylo Ren on my channel, y'all better just sit down and eat your food. This idea got more hype than any other idea I've had. Now here's the thing about it is that I can't sew very well. And I actually have this really good idea because I started looking at the costumes. And I was originally going to do the Force Awakens version of Kylo, because there's kind of 2 main versions. There's the one with a really long robe on top and one with a slightly shorter, more of a jacket type on top. So while I was looking at the costume aspects of Kylo, I realized his costume isn't that complicated. It's not something you need like specially made or anything like that if you know where to buy stuff. You know, the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi / Rise of Skywalker versions of Kylo were basically black leggings, a black turtleneck, and a cut-up maxi dress with a belt. And as I was looking at these, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, could you make a Kylo Ren cosplay out of stuff found at Forever 21? And that's what today's video is. Now, granted, there were a couple materials like the cape and the belt that I actually got from Joann's, but the majority of the costume was procured from Forever 21. First things first, obviously, I had to go to Forever 21. Now, my expectations for Forever 21 were pretty low, because with maxi dresses, it's not always great there. There are 2 versions of the Kylo Ren costume. Either way, a maxi dress could work because you can just cut it up. So anyways, went to Forever 21, and much to my surprise, I found not 1 maxi dress, but 2. And one could work for the Force Awakens Kylo, the other one could work for the other version of Kylo. And they both fit perfectly fine over the turtleneck and leggings, because that's what I wore into the store so that I could try it on over it. So I even had to text my friends, I'm like, okay, which one looks better? Because they both looked fine. I literally went in there expecting to find one that would kind of work and be happy about it. But it actually turned out way better than I thought. But ultimately, I did decide to go ahead and go with the more ribbed version, so it was going to be more of the Last Jedi / Rise of Skywalker version of Kylo, which is actually the costume I liked a little bit better. I just thought the Force Awakens one would be a little bit easier to make. But you know what? This video is full of good surprises. Now, there were a couple other elements of this costume that I did have to make, and that includes the belt and the cape. And those were actually really easy to find because I just went to Joann's. Belt, and I was like, you know what? Black felt. Felt is the best material craft stores sell. It's reliable, it's cheap, and you can do a lot with it. And then for the cape, just black fabric. The cape isn't something super special. It just needs to be black and long. Managed to find that pretty easily at Joann's. And then lastly was the lightsaber, obviously. Now, I was actually gonna order one online and just kind of hope and prayed it got here. But I was very lucky because I checked the Target kind of close to me. They said they had a limited stock and I'm like, you know what? It's a gamble, but let's see if they have it. And lo and behold, the gods smiled down upon me, like they did in Forever 21, and there was 1 Kylo Ren lightsaber left. In my whole town, too. Everything worked out. Surprisingly, things never work out for me, guys. So the next part was obviously putting together everything. Now, I actually started with the belt. I got kind of a large piece of felt instead of a small one, and I was like, well, I can just cut it in half, glue 2 sides together, and boom, I have a belt. And it worked surprisingly well. I did also buy Velcro at Joann's. I don't know, I didn't mention that before, but that's how I got the belt to fit together in the back. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little trouble with fitting the belt because I made it way too big. Because at first I just cut straight down, glued it together, and then did some Velcro around because I'm like, oh, okay, something doesn't fit and it's too big, you can always make it smaller. But then I managed to shorten it and make it the appropriate diameter, and it looked great. Now, is the back wonky? Yes, absolutely, but it is also fashion.
Look it up.
So now that the belt was made, it was time to do the over part. This is where the maxi dress came into play. So first off, obviously I put the dress on over the turtleneck and leggings because I wanted to see what length I wanted to cut it at. To figure it out, I kind of just rolled it up to about the length I wanted. Now I'm not gonna lie, the thing from the belt discouraged me a little bit, so what I did was when I rolled up the maxi dress, because I could still return it because the tag was still on and I hadn't cut it up yet, I actually sent a picture of me to my Taurus friend knowing that she would be incredibly honest because she loves Kylo Ren, and if it looked terrible, I knew she would tell me immediately. So I sent her a picture with the caption, "Does it look like I'm about to go kill my uncle?" Now she didn't respond right away, and I'm not gonna lie, with the belt and the maxi dress uncut, I did feel a little bulky, but then I remembered that I am Ben Swolo, so I'm not bulky, I am swole. But guess what? Everything turned out great because she said, "Yeah, it looks great, you just have to cut up the middle," and I was like, yeah, I'll do that in a second. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my cutting skills are terrible. That I'm left-handed, however, as a child, my school district did not have left-handed scissors. Therefore, I was forced to always cut with my right hand. Thank you, former school district. So I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my cutting is probably gonna be very cringe. Also, no, I don't have craft scissors. So anyways, I cut the dress to the size I wanted. That part didn't really scare me just because basically what I to try to get things even is I'll fold it and then cut along the fold because then I have a little bit of a guide. And it actually worked really well for the bottom part. I was very nervous for the middle part because the ribbed fabric is obviously perfectly straight lines, and I'm like, oh my god, if this doesn't look right, everybody's gonna be able to tell because there's a line right next to it. However, it didn't turn out terrible. It turned out okay. Again, my cutting skills, still terrible. Will always be terrible. I've just accepted it at this point. But overall, didn't turn out bad. Now, obviously, I did want it to close at least on the top like it does in the movie. Velcro came to save me. Now, the thing about Velcro, though, that I find is that sometimes sticking to fabric is a little difficult, so I always make sure to reinforce that with hot glue. So anyways, I originally only put 2 pieces of Velcro, kind of one at the very top and one at the bottom. Then I remembered that there are 2 very important things that separate me from a man. So I had to add a 3rd piece of Velcro. Not a big deal. Should have thought about it beforehand though. And then the overcoat was actually all done. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, it looked pretty good. Also at this point, I started filming some TikToks as Kylo, so I didn't really get to the cape that night. And then you guessed it, I kind of procrastinated on the cape and didn't make it until this morning. We're gonna take you back to this morning real quick. So quick PSA, this is probably a terrible cape. I would not suggest following what I did with this cape. Unless you're in a pinch, then maybe follow it. But other than that, I probably wouldn't follow it myself. It's really not that great. I realized like, oh wow, I really need to make this cape to really perfect the Kylo. I didn't get the mask because something tells me those masks aren't made for people who wear lashes. Female Kylo wears lashes. It's just, there's no argument there. So anyways, I put on All Stars 2 and got cutting. It actually wasn't too terribly hard to make. I actually kind of modeled it because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I like to walk around with a blanket around me. I'm cold a lot, and I realized like my Sailor Moon blanket is actually pretty good as a cape. The only thing is that it doesn't really have a hood. So essentially the actual cape is literally just a large rectangle of fabric. But to be fair, I feel like that's very practical for a Jedi because then your arms are a lot more free. You know what I mean? Now the hood was incredibly hard to make, and I'm not gonna lie, it didn't turn out right. Like I was looking up hood patterns online, but the thing is that every time I would try like the fake hood on is that it does not accompany for people with large hair. I knew I was gonna wear a nice high ponytail because that's, you know, that's my style right now. Kept cutting, and then I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? It wasn't working and it just wasn't looking right. So eventually I just cut an arc and then attached it to the cape with some hot glue. I was gonna hand sew it. I'm not actually gonna even use the hood because it looks terrible. It's more just an accessory. And then finally I did attach some Velcro so that I could like Velcro it. So now without further ado, here is a full Kylo Ren cosplay that you can make with stuff from Forever 21 and your local fabric store. Good girls go to heaven, bad girls rule the galaxy. I was a little dramatic about the hood. It could be a lot worse. But anyways, here's the cape. The other element I didn't really talk about was probably the boots. They're just like standard over the knee, a little bit of a heel. Nothing like custom or anything like that. I'm gonna be honest here though. I think I kind of pulled this off. This looks really good. I'm very proud of this. I made this by myself from Forever 21 fabric and hot glue and Velcro. The power of Velcro. We can never underestimate. Thank you, Velcro. So I'm gonna get into the makeup a little bit. I know not everybody really cares because this is like a female Kylo Ren. I didn't want to go like super literal with everything. That's why like I chose an over the knee boot just to kind of give it a little bit more of a feminine look. The belt is a little tighter than what he wears and it's a little higher to give it a little bit of shape. The makeup, I tried to make it very warm and really base it around the red lightsaber without it being too much. I wanted to keep it warm, especially because of the fact that A, I'm pale. B, this outfit is all black, so it doesn't really do me any favors when it comes to not looking like an actual White Walker from Game of Thrones. And then the hair, I chose a nice high ponytail with some bangs. I just think A, ponytail is very practical, but B, the bangs just kind of give it like a little bit more of like a stylish touch. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with this. If there's any other costumes you guys want me to see if I can make out of stuff from Forever 21 and my other natural resources, let me know. I feel fabulous, I look fabulous. I'm gonna be making Ben Solo TikToks for a really long time. Make sure you follow me over there to see them. Also, by the way, with the boots, I decided on the boots because when I put them on leggings and the black turtleneck, I felt like Katya from All Stars 2 when she's doing the Reggie Rochi performance. But anyways, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I know I've literally never done anything like this, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you guys ever do this look, tag me in it. Let me know if you do it. I'm sure that a lot of other people could replicate it very easily. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go rule the galaxy. Bye!